Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything in your life suddenly clicks into place. The person you've been waiting for, the one whose energy aligns perfectly with yours, steps into your life. It feels as though the universe has orchestrated this divine moment just for you. But here's the question: would you recognize them when they arrive? Would you feel the pull of destiny calling your name? Today, we're unlocking a truth that many overlook in the noise of everyday life. When the divine chooses someone for you, it's not random. It's deliberate. It's purposeful. And there are 5 undeniable signs that will leave you in no doubt about this sacred alignment. What if I told you that these connections aren't just about love or companionship? They're about transformation. They're about stepping into the highest version of yourself, guided by a bond that defies logic. Stay with me, because by the end of this journey, you'll not only recognize these signs, but understand the profound ways they can shape your life forever. Let's start with the first sign: an extraordinary connection that transcends the physical and enters the realm of the spiritual. Picture this: you meet someone and time seems to pause. There's no awkwardness, no hesitation, just a deep, unshakable knowing. It's as if your souls have danced together in lifetimes past, and now they've reunited for a purpose greater than you can comprehend. This is not a connection you can force. It's not about chemistry or attraction. It's about alignment. It's the universe whispering, "This is where you're meant to be." In their presence, you feel seen, not just for who you are, but for who you're becoming. They challenge you, mirror you, and push you toward the version of yourself you've always been destined to be. But let me warn you, this connection isn't always easy. It's intense. It's raw. It strips away the masks you've worn and reveals the essence of your soul. And in that vulnerability lies its power. It doesn't just comfort you, it awakens you. The extraordinary connection that goes beyond what our senses can comprehend. When you meet this person, it's not just about a spark or an initial attraction. It's about a resonance, a vibration that feels like a melody only the two of you can hear. This connection transcends the ordinary, pulling you into a dimension where words often fail, but feelings are profound and undeniable. Think about the relationships you've had before, those built on fleeting attractions or surface-level interests. How many of them left you feeling empty or misunderstood? The connection we're talking about today is the polar opposite. It's not about filling a void, it's about expanding your soul. You may find yourself saying things like, "I don't know why, but I feel like I've known this person forever." This is not a coincidence. This is alignment. This is a bond rooted in something eternal, something sacred. And it's in this sacred space that transformation begins. Because when you meet someone who sees you, truly sees you, not for who the world expects you to be, but for the divine potential within you, it's impossible to stay the same. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who had given up on love. After years of heartbreak, she convinced herself that maybe she was meant to walk this journey alone. But one ordinary day, while waiting for a train, she locked eyes with a stranger. They didn't speak, but in that moment, something shifted. She later described it as though the universe paused, holding its breath, waiting for them to recognize what had always been written. Months later, that stranger became her husband, and she would often tell people, "When you know, you know." What she experienced wasn't just love, it was divine orchestration, a connection beyond words, beyond logic, and entirely beyond coincidence. Now let's move to the second sign: divine timing. This person often enters your life when you least expect it, when you're not even looking. They appear when you've finally surrendered the need to control everything, when you've let go of the expectations and timelines you've clung to so tightly. And here's the beauty of it. Their arrival feels effortless. Conversations flow naturally, silences are comfortable, and their presence carries a peace that words cannot describe. It's as though your souls are tuned to the same frequency, harmonizing in a melody that's uniquely yours. But divine timing is not about convenience, it's about readiness. The universe doesn't send this person when you want them. It sends them when you're ready to grow, to heal, and to embrace the lessons they bring. You see, this connection isn't just about receiving love, it's about becoming love, about evolving into the person you were always meant to be. Now let's dive deeper into the concept of divine timing. Imagine the universe as a grand clock, each cog and gear moving in perfect harmony to bring you to the right place at the right moment. When someone is divinely chosen for you, they don't just stumble into your life. They arrive with precision, as if they were part of a master plan you couldn't yet see. This arrival often catches you off guard. Maybe you're healing from a loss, focusing on your personal growth, or even convinced that your heart isn't ready for connection. And then, without warning, they appear. It's as if the universe whispers, "It's time." The synchronicity is so striking that it leaves you in awe of how perfectly life can align when you let go of control. But here's the paradox. Divine timing isn't always convenient. Sometimes it arrives when you feel unprepared or resistant, and that's the point. The divine doesn't wait for your readiness. It waits for your willingness to grow. The timing of this connection is not about fitting neatly into your plans. It's about expanding you beyond them. Consider this. A man named Daniel had spent years building walls around his heart after a devastating breakup. He threw himself into his career, convinced that success would fill the void. One evening, at a charity event he almost didn't attend, he met someone who radiated a kindness he couldn't ignore. Her presence felt like sunlight piercing through a storm cloud. Within minutes, their conversation uncovered shared values, dreams, and even childhood experiences that mirrored each other's. He later reflected, "I wasn't looking for her, but I think my soul was." This wasn't random. It was timing. And while their meeting disrupted his carefully constructed life, it also became the catalyst for his greatest transformation. Here's the truth. Divine timing often arrives disguised as chaos. It challenges you to let go of the life you thought you wanted and embrace the one you're destined for. When this person enters your life, they don't fit into the old molds. They break them. And in doing so, they create space for something infinitely greater. But you have to trust the timing. You have to trust that the disruptions, the delays, and even the detours are all part of a larger plan. A plan that's been in motion long before you realized it. The third sign? A shared purpose that transcends personal desires. This connection isn't just about what you can give or take. It's about what you can create together. You'll find that your values, dreams, and ambitions align in ways that feel almost prophetic. It's as if you were always meant to meet, to walk this path together, and to fulfill a purpose far greater than yourselves. Think about it. How often do we settle for relationships that keep us stagnant? A divine connection doesn't allow that. It propels you forward. It challenges you to grow, to push boundaries, and to dream bigger. Together you become a team, a force of nature capable of achieving things you never imagined. And here's the best part. This purpose isn't forced. It flows naturally. It feels like breathing. Whether it's building something meaningful, inspiring others, or simply being an example of divine love, this connection leaves an indelible mark, not only on your life, but on the world around you. Let's go beyond the surface here, because purpose is more than just a shared interest or a common goal. It's about a divine mission, one that calls you to step into a version of yourself you didn't know existed. When someone is chosen for you, their presence amplifies your purpose. They don't just complement your life, they enhance it. Together, you create something that is not only meaningful to you, but impactful to the world around you. It's the kind of partnership where one person's strengths fill the other's gaps, creating a synergy that feels almost supernatural. Take Emma and Michael, for example. Emma was a teacher with a passion for empowering young minds, while Michael was an engineer designing educational technology. Before they met, both felt like something was missing in their work. But when their paths crossed, it became clear that their individual callings were part of a bigger picture. And together they launched a program that brought innovative learning tools to underprivileged schools. Emma often said, "We couldn't have done this alone." It's as if the universe knew we needed each other to fulfill this dream. Their connection wasn't just about companionship, it was about contribution. And that's what divine purpose looks like. It moves you from individual achievement to collective impact. But let's not romanticize this. A purpose-driven connection isn't without its challenges. When two people come together to fulfill a divine mission, their egos often clash. Old fears and insecurities surface, not to destroy the relationship, but to refine it. Purpose isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about choosing to grow through the struggles, knowing that the work you're doing together is worth it. This is why shared purpose is a hallmark of divine connection. It roots your relationship in something eternal, something sacred. And when storms come, as they inevitably do, it's that purpose that keeps you anchored. The fourth sign is perhaps the most challenging. This person acts as a mirror to your soul. Through them, you'll see the parts of yourself that you've buried, ignored, or avoided. And while this can be uncomfortable, it's also incredibly healing. Their presence brings light to your shadows, not to judge or criticize, but to help you heal. They reflect back to you your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and the potential you've yet to unlock. This connection doesn't let you hide. It invites you to be fully seen, fully known, and fully loved. And here's the thing. This mirror works both ways. Just as they reveal your inner world, you reveal theirs. Together, you create a space of authenticity and growth, where transformation happens not through force, but through love. The idea of this person being a mirror to your soul is where divine connections get raw and real. Through them, you see parts of yourself that you've hidden, even from yourself. They reflect your fears, your wounds, and your deepest desires with a clarity that can feel overwhelming. But here's the key. This mirroring is not about judgment. It's about healing. It's about peeling back the layers of who you've become to reveal the essence of who you are. And while this process can be uncomfortable, it's also liberating. Because through this reflection, you're invited to confront the parts of yourself that are ready to evolve. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing not just your face, but your soul. That's what happens in a divine connection. For Sarah, this became painfully clear when she met Jason. He was patient and kind, but his presence highlighted her impatience and unresolved anger. At first, she resisted, blaming him for the discomfort she felt. But over time, she realized that he wasn't the problem. He was the catalyst. Through their connection, she began to heal old wounds she had carried for years. She often said, "Being with him felt like holding up a magnifying glass to my soul. It was hard, but it was also the most beautiful gift I've ever received." And here's the beauty of this mirroring. It's mutual. Just as they reflect your growth areas, you reflect theirs. Together, you create a dynamic where transformation becomes inevitable. You learn to embrace your imperfections, to love your shadows, and to step into the fullness of who you are. And now, we arrive at the fifth sign, an unshakable peace. This isn't the fleeting happiness that comes from external circumstances. It's a deep, abiding sense of calm that anchors you, even in the midst of life's storms. When this person is chosen for you, their presence feels like coming home. There's no need to question, no need to doubt, because your spirit knows. It's as if the chaos of the world quiets down, and you're left with the clarity that this connection is exactly as it's meant to be. But don't confuse peace with perfection. This relationship will have challenges. Every great one does. Yet, even in conflict, the peace remains. Disagreements don't tear you apart. They bring you closer. They become opportunities for growth, for understanding, and for building something unbreakable. This peace extends beyond the relationship itself. It spills into every corner of your life, bringing clarity to decisions, stability to your emotions, and a renewed sense of purpose. It's the kind of peace that reminds you of God's presence, guiding and sustaining you every step of the way. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. These 5 signs, an extraordinary connection, divine timing, shared purpose, soulful mirroring, and unshakable peace, aren't just about identifying the person chosen for you. They're about recognizing the divine orchestration in your life. When you encounter this connection, it transforms you. It strips away the superficial and aligns you with the eternal. It calls you to step into your higher self, to live with intention, and to embrace a love that is rooted in the divine. But here's what I want you to remember. This connection is not a reward. It's a responsibility. It's an invitation to grow, to serve, and to fulfill the purpose you were created for. And the only way to honor it is to show up fully, authentically, and with a heart open to the possibilities. So, I leave you with this question. Are you ready? Are you ready to recognize this connection when it comes? Are you ready to embrace the growth, the challenges, and the transformation it brings? Because the truth is, the divine is always working, aligning people, circumstances, and timing to bring you closer to your purpose. Your task is simple. Stay open, stay curious, and most importantly, stay aligned with the higher plan for your life. When you do, you won't just find the connection you're seeking, you'll find yourself.